Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Mumkey and BIGS Show, your favorite birthday podcast. That's right, folks. Even on the monkey's birthday, we're coming straight at you, right into your ear holes with your favorite manly voices. I am your host, Monkey Jehoshaphat, joined as always by...
BIGS, who's so fat?
BIGS, wow, you sound really sad. Now, obviously, if you see the video, we're recording this from two separate places, and that's because, as you can tell by BIGS's energy and attitude, his non-mask wearing has led to him contracting the coronavirus. BIGS, how does it feel to have the plague within your lungs right now?
I feel really dumb for not listening to all the medical doctors in the comment section.
Wow.
Talking down on me. I really should have just listened to those 12-year-olds and
Whoa!
maybe I wouldn't be here.
I don't know if the attitude of, hey, wear a mask is specifically a 12-year-old opinion.
No, but they were definitely like coming at it as like, oh yeah, we're superior. You should wear a mask. And I'm like, if you listen to what I said I literally don't go around many people, so why would I need to wear one?
Well,
like when I go to Walmart, I'm not within even 20 feet of people because I stay away from them in general because people are disgusting.
Right, but you have a natural gravitational pull just due to mass,
Oh, no.
so you can't keep away from people. Six feet social distancing, it's impossible. People are just drawn towards you. They can't keep away.
Walking through Walmart and there's just a bunch of, like a cloud of just stuff flying around me.
Yeah, you have a gravitational pull and things just float around you in a circle. You're like the sun.
Corona's a sham anyways, right? So, I mean, what do I have to worry about?
Well, BIGS, I want to talk a little bit about today's date, which is also my birthday, July 13, and I would like to
Excuse
attest.
me, it is July 12th right now. So.
Well, by the time we finish this podcast, it will probably be July 13, which...
I was going to send you a cute text, but, I mean, you kind of ruined the premise of...
You can just say it during the show. But after a recent $300 dental bill, I've sworn off soda, pop, energy drinks, and all that for the most part. But I thought, hey, for a celebratory podcast, birthday podcast, I might as well give myself one soda. So the soda I choose is the brand new Dr. Pepper mixed with cream soda. I figured, hey, two of my favorite sodas mixed together is a good birthday soda. And it also has a couple shots of Jack in there to really celebrate the podcast.
Great.
So, you know, here's a toast to 713, baby.
It's funny that you're having to cut out pop and stuff like that because I started drinking these sparkling waters from Dollar General, these lemon lime ones. They taste just like Sprite. And just from drinking those, I've not had any pop for like 3 or 4 weeks now.
That's going to be a major weight loss component, I would imagine. Cutting out soda cuts out a lot of unnecessary, calories and sugar.
I didn't even do it consciously. I'm just like, man, these are really good, and I kept buying them. Now I don't even drink pop anymore. So
who would have ever thought that man would find water to be delicious?
Flavored water.
Yeah, flavored water. BIGS, I want to talk a little bit about the date that this podcast is coming out. Also the date that I was born on, BIGS, 25 years ago. Can you believe it? I finally caught up to you in the quarter life crisis. I'm right there with you. But I would like to think...
Time. Welcome to the shit show.
I would like to think in terms of metaphor or symbolism, however you want to... Whoever the author of my life is, they're really laying it on thick. Because if you think about the date, July 13th, that's 713, the lucky number and the unlucky number, fortune and misfortune, sweet and sour, good and bad, up syndrome, down syndrome. It's this paradox of two opposites thrust onto one date that I happen to be born on. And I feel as though perhaps it's really fitting, because I feel like there's not a lot of in between. My life is a lot of great fortune and a lot of great misfortune, and there's not a whole lot in the middle of that bell curve, if you know what I'm saying.
were you by chance born during the twilight hours? So it's like also
Yeah,
like right between
Jacob was there,
night and
Edward
day.
was there, Bella was there. It was a real twilight hour, Biggs. Great.
Yeah, that's good.
But I bring that up because while the previous episode of this podcast might have seemed like an episode of great fortune, Biggs has a new job. I tell my neighbor the truth about getting scammed, and he agrees not to give her any more money. So much great fortune we relayed 1 week ago, and now it seems that the 13 part is really in full effect because this might be the bad luck birthday episode. I think we have nothing but downer stories that I really just skip this episode. If you enjoyed the last episode, don't listen to this one because we only have opposite stories to tell.
Yeah, just pick and choose what parts of our lives you like to hear about. Normally just the ups, never the downs.
Well, last episode, and I'm going to read some comments in a little bit, but I want to just get all the bad news out. Lickety split. Last episode, we spent 20 full minutes describing Biggs's new job, and Biggs had another, full week on the job. So let's hear another 20 minutes of stories. Biggs, how was the job this week?
So the first day was great. I go in, driving the truck was fun. The second day, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm starting to get a hold of starting to remember the route. I can drive around without asking directions. Third day is like, oh, wow, this is super easy. Like, the guy just passes out. I can just chill all day driving from place to place because I know exactly where I'm going. Fourth day comes around about the same, Like, oh, this is great.
Biggs, this story is awfully boring. I hope you're going somewhere with this.
So fifth day, I wake up. And I'm getting ready, I'm getting on my
police uniform.
Police-looking uniform, yeah. And I get a call, and they're like, hey, Biggs? Yeah, don't come in today. I'm like, oh, all right. We just off today?
What happened was they heard our podcast and knew that I was asking questions because I was planning on robbing the money truck, and they don't want you getting involved. So what, they told you not to come in for a day or two, or what's going on?
Yeah, so I was like, oh, okay, we just got like a day off, or what's going on? He's like, yeah, we lost some customers and business is kind of slow, so we're going to cut some costs, and we're laying off the 5 newest guys, and you're the 5th one. Like, day 5, I didn't even make it a full business week. 4 days in, and I lose the job.
Laid off. You would think they would fire, the elderly man who sleeps on the job next to you while you do all the work. But no, he gets to keep his job, and you're the one who gets fired.
I mean, he's been there 10 years, so they're like, oh, yeah, he's fine. He'll just stick around and sleep, So.
Did you end up quitting the other job, or are you going to go back to that one with your, tail tucked between your legs?
No, that one's completely out the window. So
how did you quit that job? Doug Walker style, like we talked. Did you pull up your shirt and you had a whole paragraph written on it, or what?
No. So he was being a huge baby about the whole situation, and then there was problems with HR. And then I was just like, you know what? I just give up on you guys. Like, I literally wrote a letter of resignation. It was right before I started the new job. So I had a job I was going to, so I was like, I don't even care. So I wrote it out, and I literally told him in the letter that that company was a sinking ship, and I would prefer not to be on it at the end.
Meanwhile, you're going to a ship that is already halfway sunk, and you're like, this is my lifeboat.
Yeah, no, I got on a lifeboat and left the sinking ship and showed up to one that's already underwater.
Yeah, it's women and children first on those lifeboats. You should have known that they were going to throw you off.
Yeah, so...
#feminism.
I would have been bummed out, but I've got enough saved up to last a couple months. So even if I wanted to chill until, September before I got a job, I'd be fine. So
wait, so you haven't even started applying anywhere yet? You're just unemployed, chilling at home?
I've applied, but, places aren't really hiring. And the only call I've gotten was, I don't remember what kind of job it was. It's like a call center. I'm like, I'm not doing a call center again. I've done that.
You should, those Indian tech scammers, they're always hiring. You could probably rip some old people out of their life savings, rip them off.
Oh, I know a really gullible incel I could get a hold of.
Oh no. Well, to continue the train of good news, I've had some more updates with my neighbor. Just a quick recap for anybody who wants to know the story
Everything
so
going
far.
good? They finally met up,
Well,
right?
I have a 68-year-old incel neighbor who is being scammed by some woman pretending to be his half his age long distance girlfriend, who would always ask him to send money, but it's going to be worth it because once she comes here and they get married, in the will or the inheritance contract or what have you, of course, this woman is going to receive a hefty inheritance, and the contract states that her husband automatically gets 20%. Now, I'm sure that's how inheritance wills are written. That makes perfect sense to me. Oh, yes, my daughter's husband will get 20% of my wealth. Yeah, okay. I believe it. I believe every word.
My daughter is a gold-digging whore.
So, last episode, I told him the truth and said, hey, this is a scam. How about you stop sending money to this person you've never met before, to this person who you've seen pictures of and spoken on the phone to, but you've never seen her face moving while the words come out. They've never FaceTimed or video chatted or any of that shit. AKA,
legit,
yeah, this is not a real person, you dipshit. And if I sound angry already, oh boy, don't you worry. Biggs, I would like to add something new to the pathetic list. And okay. I know you... What did you have at the top? Like bronies, or what the fuck did you say is the number one most pathetic thing? Above so even us?
Number one is, I think it was bronies, yes. And what was it, like people who like lolly shit? And stuff like that.
Okay.
And then there's something
that's
else
rich coming from a guy who looks identical to Zero right now. I literally, if you didn't tell me otherwise, I would think I'm talking to Zero.
I don't even know who that is.
You don't want to know. Well, the new, in my opinion, most pathetic type of person of all time is people who do not believe me when I'm telling them the truth.
But do you have receipts?
Biggs, is there a more frustrating feeling on earth than when you're telling somebody the truth and they don't believe you? Has this ever happened to you?
It happens way more often than I would like to admit, and it's almost like a scenario where someone's arguing that 2 + 2 is 89 and you're literally holding up a calculator like, no, it's 4, and like they just won't believe you for any reason, and it's just so annoying.
Do you have any recent examples that have really got your goat lately?
I don't know about recent, but it's a lot of family drama that happens.
When you're trying to convince your mom that you were straight and she just wouldn't believe it? She's like, I've seen the videos you make with Mumkey. I know.
Yeah, sure. Yep.
Well, Biggs,
she has her own receipts to prove otherwise. So. I've seen when you message him on your phone.
Wait, you let your mom read our private messages, dude? That's not cool.
Well, of course.
That's not cool at all. Biggs, you will never guess who was in the hospital with an ulcer because she, I guess, did not eat enough food. And if you don't eat enough food, sometimes you get an ulcer and you have to go to the hospital, even though you're supposed to be in a quarantine because somebody died on your fucking Greyhound bus. You'll never guess who has a $3,000 hospital bill from an ulcer. If you had to guess who, I'll give you 3 chances. And don't say Jackie Chan.
Ah, bad day.
Bad day, bad day, bad
day. Is it Papa Mumk?
My father? No.
Yeah. Okay.
My father did recover from coronavirus a few weeks ago, though, so good for him.
What about Isabel? She's female. She's probably a gold digger.
Yeah, my cat Isabel did have a $3,000 ulcer, and I said, "Fuck that! You're gonna live with it. That'll show you for shitting in my bed 3 months ago."
So do I win a prize for getting it right or what?
Yeah, a $3,000 hospital bill. You can PayPal that to me right now.
Well, I mean, it is for my child. Hold on. Let me just pull up my phone here.
In case we have any actual Down syndrome fans in the audience, I'll just spell it out for you. My neighbor promised me he would not send her another dime until she actually came and he met her in person. He promised that to my face. That's a deal I made with him to stop him from being scammed. And now he's trying to sell his car so he has enough money to send her $3,000 for this fake hospital bill that is not real.
What kind of car does he have?
He wants a what's the car I said that he wanted? It's those cars that have the top that come down. What are those called?
Just convertible top?
Yeah, he wants some fancy convertible, and he has like a 1967 old, piece of shit convertible or what that doesn't really run. So his plan is, okay, I always wanted a convertible. I have one. I'm going to try to sell it to send her money so that when she comes up with her inheritance, she can use her money to buy me the convertible I want. That's his game plan.
Okay, yeah, that's sound logic, yeah.
And
okay.
I said to him, hey buddy, remember last week when you looked me in the eyes and promised me you would not send her another dime? What happened to that?
I'm just imagining this very old man just like kind of looking at you like, I don't think I remember that, Mumkey.
Oh, he remembered, but he said, but this is different. It's a hospital bill. She was sick in the hospital. She showed me a photo of her in the hospital. She blah, 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 blah. And there was no pretense. Usually when I talk to somebody who's a fucking retard, I'll play along at least a little bit and just smile and nod and like give them like a half, like, oh yeah, then okay, I see it. But at this point, I am furious because there is nothing in this entire world, there's nothing on God's green flat earth, Biggs, that makes me more angry. Nothing that makes me more angry than when I'm telling somebody the truth and they don't believe me. Because that's just them outrightly judging my character. They're saying, oh, you're trying to help me? I'd rather believe that you're a malicious or bad person who is trying to deceive me, rather than accept your help. Get fucked. That's how I feel when people don't believe me.
Yeah, I think there's like a special way of seeing it when it's like somebody with like what they call it, girlfriend goggles or whatever on. That's just like a next level stupid that they are in, because like when you're in that mindset of like, oh, this person, they're like just out of reach, but if I do all this I can have them, and then you're telling them like, no, this is not a good idea.
Well, yeah,
the amount of stupidity flowing through his head has got to be astronomical.
My gut reaction is just, you got to nip this in the bud right now. And I said, listen, man, this is not real. It's a scam. You're being lied to. Get it through your head. This is not real. Do not send her that money. Do not send her that money. Don't do it. Stop. Don't do it. And he just won't listen. He just keeps saying, no, you'll see. When she's up here, I'll introduce you to her. You'll see. When I get my Corvette, I'll let you drive it. You'll see.
You're going to like have a knock at the door one day, and it's just going to be him with this stunning woman. And you're just going to like be so dumbfounded. He's going to like just wink at you. I told you, buddy. And then he hops in his convertible and just cruises off down the street. That's gonna be fantastic.
Man, I would love to be wrong. But some people just cannot be helped, and I don't want to be around those people at all. This man is not my blood relative. He's not even my friend. He's my neighbor who I chat with sometimes. But if he's going to throw away his life savings, sell his belongings,
It's not-
sell his fucking car to send it to a scammer who I've told him to his face on multiple occasions, this is a scammer. Don't send them money. You will never get any of it back. When I've done all of that and they still just ignore it and look me in the eyes and say I'm wrong, you're dead to me. That's it. I owe this man nothing. I owe him nothing. So, oh, but Mumkey, you gotta be there for him, be his friend. No, my friends believe me when I tell them the truth, and when they don't, I don't care if they end up dead in a ditch, and I sincerely mean that. That old man who lives down the street, I don't give a fuck what happens to him anymore. I've done everything I can do, and he is actively choosing to ignore valid advice. He's ignoring my facts and logic like a Ben Shapiro fanboy, and he's choosing to throw his life savings away. Get fucked, old man. Get fucked. You're beyond helping. I don't give a shit. Guess what? You and your 92-year-old mother are going to end up dead in a fucking ditch because you're gonna sell your fucking trailer to send the money to a scammer. And I don't give a single fuck anymore about what happens to you because you didn't believe me. Fuck you.
Maybe he can sell his trailer to me and we'll be neighbors.
He'll probably sell it for $3,000 because it sounds like his convertible is such a piece of shit he can't even sell it for that much.
I can come up with that easily. Yeah, let's do that. Tell him I'll give him $3,000 for his trailer and see what he says.
Well, that's my entry for number one most pathetic type of person. Anybody who does not believe me. It gives me flashbacks to the fucking Asperger getting arrested for beating his girlfriend thing, and I tell the internet about it because she's trying to blackmail and blame me for the whole thing. I'm like, no, this is what happened. And all these degenerate, stupid fucks who dared try to tell me I was making it up when I provide evidence and show fucking police reports and shit, it just makes me so angry that people could be so stupid. That people would not believe me when I'm telling the truth. Just get fucked. I hope all of you die. I hope you die painful deaths like BIGS when he gets COVID from not wearing a fucking mask. I hope it's long and painful and I will feel no pity for you. Zero. Fuck you.
Hey, based off the survival rate, I'm pretty good. If I get it,
that's for healthy people, BIGS.
If your dad can survive it, I think I can.
My dad weighs half of what you weigh.
He eats way more gross stuff than I do. Daily.
How many candy bars are on your desk right now?
Zero.
Candy bar wrappers.
You know what's on my desk right now? Like an obscene amount of water bottles just everywhere. Water.
Well, so those are our two bad news bears stories to reflect on from last week. Biggs got fired from his job, and my neighbor not only straight up lied to me when he said he wouldn't send her any more money, but is also ignoring me when I'm telling him the truth. So, fuck life. Maybe I'm going to pull a Shakespeare and die on my birthday. I think I'm going to kill myself after this podcast because I can't stand other humans anymore at all. I can't stand them. I'm at the point where I'm rooting for the scammer. Like, if the victim knows that they're being scammed and he has no excuse not to know because I've spelled it out straight to his fucking face, if he's still falling for the scam, then I'd say fucking bravo, scammer. You got your hook so deep into this old fucking retard. I hope you squeeze him fucking dry. Every penny, every asset. I hope he sells everything and gives you every penny. And fuck him. Fuck him. So stupid. Hey, Biggs, you want to hear some comments from last week?
Sure.
We had a little bit of a math discussion. We were not sure what absolute value was all about, Biggs. And we had a few math magicians in the comments who wanted to fill us in. Shoe Hunter says, absolute value from my experience. I like that. Math equations are based on experience now and things like that. Is used for equations, okay, such as one of the trigonometry shit that can't use negative values. Very, Shoe Hunter, that was a very insightful comment. And
didn't we ask for real life scenarios.
Yep. So
kinda
orange
swore-
face. Orange face's absolute value can be used in multiple phase electric engineering when working with more complex issues. For large scale power, RMS, and P2P is more used. Now, I'm gonna need a little bit of a explain like I'm 5 on that one. I have no idea what any of those words mean. Did you pick up on any of that, Biggs?
The only thing that sounds familiar to me is P2P, because that's usually, well, not usually, I guess, but some games use a P2P connection, which is literally just bouncing the connection off of from player to player. Usually those are garbage, but I assume this is completely different. So again, real life scenario, please.
Well, there's another one that's like a whole paragraph, but this doesn't look like real life scenario. I don't know if I want to read that one. Biggs, you said that you're taking a mathematical analysis course online for college, and boy666 wants to know, can we get an episode where Biggs explains Mumkey mathematical analysis? So I think, you've been taking this course for a month or so, or I don't know how long. How about you give us all a crash course in what you've been studying so far? I'd love to know.
Oh man. The first few weeks has just been going back to like high school stuff. So just your base equations like x plus 2 equals 5, easy stuff like that. And then it goes on to like polynomials, and it's just taking everything you learned in high school and cutting it in half, shoving half of it in 1 week and the other half in the next week. And next week, I think I'm working on something completely different. So I assume most of our viewers are in high school, so whatever math you're learning right now is what I'm relearning. So
you're gonna start math tutoring on your Discord server. You can, you need a job, so you could charge these kids money and teach them math.
Yeah. I think there was one section that really threw me off, and it's like finding the area of like different shapes, but it's like equations, and it's not like finding like, oh well, this is 25 square feet. It's like, no, this is x squared divided by blah 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 and all this to the second power. And
speaking of Biggs not understanding basic concepts, Kyle Bradley wanted to say, it's impressive how ignorant Biggs is about the masks after months of all of the information being out there.
Yeah, that was the one I was talking about. Like, okay, I understand what you're saying, but again, I don't go around anyone. I'm not going to waste my time with the mask. If I go into Walmart and I'm like 50 feet from someone, why do I need it? Why do I need it? Self-checkout? Okay. Oh, well, it's going to get on your hands. Okay, if it gets in my hands, what's a mask going to do?
I don't know.
So, like...
I just want to hear you riff about how you hate masks as long as possible.
I don't hate masks. That's the thing. If I go to a place where it's decently populated, I will wear a mask. But if I'm going like to a drive-through, I'm not going to wear a mask. Those people have their hands all over my food, and I'm going to put it in my mouth. If I'm that worried, I'm not going to go out to eat. If I go to Walmart, I'm not going to go around anybody. Literally, I went the other day, and there's like this old woman that couldn't understand what potting soil was. And she was in my way, and I waited at least 15 minutes for her to move before I went down.
15 minutes?
Yes.
Biggs, if you were wearing a mask, you could have just strolled right on by and saved the time.
Yeah, well, okay, one time, sure. Other than
That's
that,
15 whole minutes of your life you could have saved.
Yeah, well, I was heading towards a party I didn't really care to be at anyway, so...
Well, did you wear a mask at the party since that was a populated event with, 30 people in one house?
It was a populated event of 4 people, and yes, I wore a mask.
Sounds like my kind of party. You gonna wear a mask to my birthday party tomorrow when it's you, me, and my parents?
Yeah, sure. It would be fun.
We could get those eyes wide shut masks so when we're having an orgy with my parents, you don't know who's fucking who. It'll be impossible to tell who's who.
It'll be like me and you side by side, and it'll be like the Serbian film.
No.
You look down, and it's your own dad. Sorry, Mumkey.
Well,
But yeah, the I don't know. People like bash on me for not wearing a mask, and it's like you've heard like 3 scenarios of me not wearing one. But generally, if I'm going to populated places, I'll wear it. If I'm going to somebody's house who I don't generally go around, I'll wear it. If we're outside, maybe not. Like doing like a bonfire or something, sitting around a fire. Nah, I'm not gonna wear it.
how often are you going to fucking bonfires and shit? I haven't been outside in a week. Nobody invites me to a goddamn thing. What's going on?
I literally asked if we were going out to eat for your birthday, like just eating out. We didn't even have to go to a restaurant, just getting food and bringing it back. I'm not leaving the house was your answer, so.
Well, yeah, the plan
feel
is
like
I
even
think
if
my
you got
dad's
invited-
gonna get takeout tomorrow because I don't want to go to a restaurant. Definitely not.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't either, but yeah, I think you were right when you said our one trip to Texas Roadhouse was enough for a while.
Yeah, yeah. It was weird. Like right when all the restaurants reopened, and this was like over a month ago. It's hard to believe. It feels like a lifetime ago that we went to Texas Roadhouse, and that's the only restaurant I've been to since fucking COVID began. But it was so weird going in there because we were like, it was the middle of busy hour, but you and I were basically the only customers in the restaurant, and everything was so sterile, and it was such a weird time. And yeah, all the waitresses are wearing like fucking surgical masks and shit, and I just didn't feel comfortable. Like, this is not the dining experience that I want. I feel like I'm in a hospital. It's very creepy. I would rather just get the takeout and go home.
Right, yeah. I mean, I think I would almost rather do that anyways, even if there wasn't a pandemic, just eat at home.
Well, I mean, at that point, we can make our own Texas Roadhouse at home for, I assume, much, much cheaper. The whole point of going to the restaurant is the experience of, oh, there's peanuts, I can throw the shells on the floor, and some fucking custodian has to clean that shit up tomorrow. You get the bread.
Tomorrow, you don't think they clean it that night?
Would you? I'd save that for the morning guy.
For a restaurant, I think they'd probably at least sweep it up at night.
Yeah, I mean, that's you would think so, but you know, if they're hiring guys like us, I think it's going to be the morning shift's problem.
It's the infinite morning/night shift debacle, the ongoing raging war.
Well, Biggs, you know, for the bad luck birthday episode, I really didn't have much else prepared. I don't know if you have 30 minutes of material, but I just wanted to say how much I hate my neighbor for not believing me. And I really, if I go on any longer, people are going to assume I'm making death threats. So, did you have anything else you wanted to talk about this week?
I guess not particularly.
Wow.
I mean,
don't even want to sing me happy birthday. You don't want to show off the present you got me that you're going to bring
yet.
over.
It's not time yet.
By the time this is uploaded, it'll be time.
You got 44 minutes. And all you're going to get is a little Bitmoji on Snapchat.
No!
You're getting my presents tomorrow, okay?
Biggs, did you like that I updated my Bitmoji so that I'm wearing a Black Lives Matter t-shirt and pink short shorts?
Yeah. At
Pretty
least
good?
I know that you stand for a good cause now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything, Biggs.
Wow, that's deep.
I'm 14 and this is deep.
I know some people have been asking when you're gonna come into the Discord and play games with us.
Never.
They've been asking that for ages.
Why would I waste my time doing that?
Because it's fun.
I've learned that of all the toxic communities on the internet, any Discord server is basically Nazi Germany. I would rather not talk to anybody than hang out with people on Discord.
Have you been on my Discord? It's like the most wholesome place. minus like 2 people.
Okay, so wait, it's Nazi Germany before they started killing Jews. Oh, how wholesome, Biggs. Oh, Hitler has all these great economic plans for our country, but he wants to kill the Jews. Shut the fuck up, Biggs.
You're telling me you wouldn't want to come in and play Cards Against Humanity with Heartsy?
Not a chance.
Why
Now that I
not?
know Heartsy's there, you would have to pay me a 5-figure salary to even step foot in the server.
He's really stuck on that time you called him a subhuman. He's really stuck to that.
I still don't think I said subhuman. I did compare him to Xanderbrow, and he did recently look up Xanderbrow to see if he has the same voice. And I think he concluded that it's yes, he does have the same voice.
Yeah. Another question that keeps getting asked is when we're going to do the voicemail live stream.
Well, we could probably do that. I mean, if you're going to be over at my house the next couple days, we could probably do that on Tuesday.
Okay.
So there you go. Tomorrow, if you're listening to this podcast on Monday, maybe we'll do it tomorrow. To make up for this episode probably being too short.
We have like 2 months of voicemails on there to go through, so...
I have about 2 years of depression chamber stories in my inbox that I still need to read. So, eventually we'll get to everything. All this fan-submitted content. What?
Are you still doing them in order?
Oh, I was never doing them. I was never doing them in order. A lot of the time I would say, okay, folks, we have a story called this and a story called this. Chat, vote for which one you want to hear. So I fuck the order. You read them the way you want to. I did recently watch a few movies. I guess I could give a brief synopsis or a brief review. Maybe a couple recommendations. I watched that Hamilton, Biggs. I told you to watch it last week, but I doubt you did. You know anything about Hamilton?
I was watching Steins Gate Zero when both of my brothers watched it, so...
You heard it in the background?
I did not hear it at all. I didn't watch it, but I've been told I need to, so...
I was talking to Cobb, of all people, and he said he watched it twice. He liked it so much. And I didn't know Cobb was that big of a musical theater geek, that he would listen to a musical twice in the same week.
Yeah, he likes musicals. He watches quite a few of them, but I'm surprised he took enough time away from Madden to watch it twice.
Yeah, it's almost 3 hours long, and Disney Plus included a 2-minute intermission, which I don't know why they didn't cut that part out, honestly. I mean, I'm sitting at home watching this shit. It's almost like Hulu just throwing in all these fucking ads.
Yeah, they could have at least made it 5 seconds that we had time to pause it and get up or something.
They realize, Disney Plus users have a pause button, right? I don't need an actual 2-minute timer on my screen. If I'm also going to bitch about how I think Disney could have done it better, there's like 3 fucks in the musical and they censored them, which I just find distasteful. If you're going to film a musical and make it available to the public, you don't need to censor it. We're not... Like, the plot is about murdering people and affairs, and you're talking about sex and shit. I think we can handle the word fuck.
It's on Disney Plus, bro. Come on. You really think they're going to let that slide?
They shouldn't have bought the rights to Hamilton if they didn't want to present Hamilton. That was their mistake. Like, you can have one R-rated thing on fucking Disney Plus if you're filming a Broadway musical. It's just people on a stage talking. Get over it.
But, one thing I heard was it's like multiple, like 3 different takes, I think. And like they switch between a live show and like a recorded show. That way they could get better shots. Did it like throw off the flow of the show at all, do you think?
I'm not really sure if that's exactly right, what you said. I know that they pieced together footage from 3 different recording days, but you can always hear like the audience reacting to things. So yeah, 'cause I didn't think anything was thrown off. I thought it was actually really, really well shot and really, really well put together.
Yeah, I was just wondering how that would have meshed, like if there was a spot throughout the movie or the play that made it seem like off or something, where it like disconnects.
I honestly feel bad for any of those suckers who paid $6,000 to get a 3rd row ticket to see this shit. because the recorded version is by far better than any auditorium, seeing it in person. At my house on the couch, I have the best seat in the house because they got like close-up zoom-ins on shit. I'm guessing most of the people in the audience did not know that the King of England was a drooling retard. You can literally see drool coming down his face as he sings. And it's like so subtle that if you're in the third row in the theater, there's no way you're gonna see that shit. I've seen lots of plays, you miss those little details, but the version on Disney Plus, the whole fucking screen is his face. They zoom that shit in with the HD camera. I paid $0 to see Hamilton and I loved it. If I paid $6,000 to sit, halfway in the auditorium, I don't know if it would have been worth the money, to be honest.
Right.
Fuck that shit. But my review, I liked it a lot. I really, really liked it a lot. I think that the music's great, and like everybody else, I've been listening to some songs in my free time just because it's pretty catchy, pretty fun stuff. Also very sad story.
Yeah, maybe I'll talk you into watching it with me sometime. I think it's the only way I could probably get through it is if somebody makes me watch it.
I'll make my fucking parents watch it with us tomorrow. Say, okay, birthday time. We got Texas Roadhouse takeout. Let's all sit down and watch a 3-hour musical about the American Revolution, baby.
So on top of your dad being pissed that I'm randomly there, we get to sit through Hamilton where he's going to be even more pissed.
Yeah, I don't think my dad was going to want to watch any musical ever. Another thing... Oh, go ahead.
I just love how every time I'm over there and they happen to be coming out, like they plan on getting takeout, he's just like, why didn't you tell me BIGS was going to be here?
Now I have to order twice as much food.
He just gets... He seems very upset. I think
I don't think he's actually upset. I think, if anything, he's just like, why didn't you tell me? But most of the time, I don't know. I didn't know you were coming over tomorrow until about 5 minutes ago, and it's too late to warn my parents because it's almost midnight.
Too late to warn them. Hey, BIGS is coming over. You should probably come a different day.
Hey, this is Zero cosplayers on its way over, so make sure you order twice as many steaks.
Wow.
You should probably Google who Zero is.
Oh, I'm on Google right now. Should I do it?
Yeah, type in Zero Smash Bros. And just see what pops up. And see if he looks like you. Look up a Google image.
Oh, God damn it. Bring up my camera.
Did you see a picture of him?
Yeah, I saw.
Does it look like you?
It would be close if... Yeah. Especially with the anime glare on my glasses.
So, if don't go buy Disney Plus, get on your friend's account and check out Hamilton if you want to hear 3 hours of sick tunes. Another movie I watched I think it's on Hulu. I don't know. I have all these things for free because I leech off of BIGS and my parents, so I don't know who pays for what anymore. And I don't even remember when I set up my Hulu account, but my Hulu username is COVIDFan69420. Were you there when I made that? Because I don't remember typing that.
Yeah, I do.
But there's this new movie made by the Lonely Island guys called Palm Springs, which is BIGS, you big fan of Groundhog Day? You know that movie?
Yeah.
The idea of, a character reliving the same day over and over again.
I think I've seen it too many times now.
The
same idea.
I watch Groundhog Day every day. It's almost like I'm living my own. But
no, they've reused that idea quite a bit.
Did you say overused? Because I think it's underused. I think it's a great way to set up the premise of a fun film. Yeah, like Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day 2U. I think those are two amazing movies for what they are. A lot of fun with that premise. And this is one starring Andy Samberg, who I am actually a pretty big fan of. I like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and I like all the Lonely Island stuff. I never watched Saturday Night Live, so I don't really know him from that as much, but this is Groundhog Day with Andy Samberg. But the twist is that after he's been in the loop for who knows how many years of living the same day over and over again, he accidentally gets a girl who like he has a crush on, who's like at the same party as him. He accidentally gets her into the loop too, and she is not happy about it. And that's the premise of the movie. And I thought it was really funny, and probably,
really good.
you know, considering that the only movies that came out this year are Sonic the Hedgehog and Bad Boys for Life, I would probably have to say, as of mid-July, this is the best film of the year. And it's just like, it's just a straight to Hulu rom-com that's ripping off Groundhog Day. But it's really funny, and I think
it a bit more fun.
What's that?
I think that adding like the extra person would make it better. I feel like
it's
make for good comedy.
It's only 90 minutes. That's the perfect length for a comedy film, in my opinion. It doesn't overstay its welcome. And also, J.K. Simmons is in it, and ever since Whiplash, and really ever since Spider-Man, who isn't a big J.K. Simmons fan? Just Kidding Simmons is his full name, I believe. Him and Just Kidding Rowling, I think they must be related. So if you have Hulu, again, don't pay for Hulu. And if you do pay for Hulu, don't do the commercial shit, because that's annoying as fuck. Me and Biggs were watching Nathan For You, and every 2 minutes we have to watch 8 hours of commercials. It's so fucking annoying.
That's what it felt like, man. And it's like, it starts out as like 40 seconds, and the next set of commercials, 60 seconds. Okay, this is manageable. Next set of commercials.
Time to check my phone.
Seconds.
Time to read all the nudes I got on Snapchat. But eventually the nudes run out, but the commercials are still going.
It's like eventually the timer there's like a little infinite loop up there, and you have to like back out and go back in, otherwise you're just watching commercials all day.
So yeah, that's one I'll recommend too. Is if you have Hulu, check out Palm Springs if you need 90 minutes of funny shit. And finally, this last movie is not one that came out recently, and it's one that I think a lot of people have been revisiting this year. It's the 2011 Steven Soderbergh film Contagion. Biggs, have you seen this one?
Probably. It sounds like a movie I would have watched.
It has Matt Damon, Gwyneth Paltrow, the woman who played Mal in Inception, who is a top tier waifu for sure. But it's just the story of a pandemic breaking out, and watching it now is so different from when I watched it when I was 16 and it came out. Just because whoever fucking wrote this thing, you might as well call him Prometheus. He saw this shit coming. It's eerily similar to the coronavirus, where you have straight out of Hong Kong a bat starts a fucking pandemic virus out of China, and it spreads around the whole world. And what I like about this movie is that it doesn't really follow a main character. There's not really a protagonist or an antagonist or anything. It follows like 10 different groups and different types of people as they're trying to work through the pandemic. So you got people at the CDC, you got people at the World Health Organization. You got Matt Damon, who his wife was patient 0, and she like died on day 5, and he's trying to keep his kids alive. If you want to like just feel disgusted in a way where you're watching a movie that is reflecting the world around you in ways that I can't believe are so accurate, and thankfully it seems that the world is not going as crazy as the world ends up going in this movie, because I think in the movie like 30 million people end up dying from whatever the virus is, whereas
hey, there's still time.
There fucking sure is still time.
Still time, don't worry.
But like, just to see a movie where everybody in public is, you know, wearing these masks like I see out on the street today, and there's riots and people like burning down stores and breaking into shit, and you're watching a movie in 2011 like, yeah, right. That shit would never happen. People would be civilized. There wouldn't be riots.
Yeah, okay.
People wouldn't be breaking into buildings and burning them down during a pandemic. There's no way that would happen. But then it's like, is this movie a documentary from the past? All this shit is fucking happening. It's crazy.
Yeah, see, when I see stuff like that, it's always like, oh yeah, that's probable, because the one thing I know is that people suck.
Yeah, well,
People just suck.
That might be the theme of the episode, is that, you know, you're the guy who fired you sucks, my neighbor sucks, my neighbor's scammer sucks, we
I
suck.
thought we were on her side.
She still sucks. I mean, she's not a good person. I just, now that I've done everything I can to fight against her and she beat me, you know, I'm the type of guy, if I'm on Survivor, if you vote me out and you're in the end, I'm going to vote for you as the winner. You know, I'm not a sore loser. I'm not going to be a bitter juror. This scammer beat me in convincing my neighbor of falsities. And, you know, I used my immunity idol. I did everything I could to stop her, and she beat me. So, yeah, fucking good job. You win. I'm proud of you. Everybody sucks. The world sucks. Biggs won't wear a mask. He doesn't give a shit about your grandma. You know, it's just, it's a sad state of affairs all over again.
Next time we do a video podcast, I'm just going to wear a mask.
You should.
Yeah, I'll wear it at home, guys, but I'm not wearing it outside.
Yeah, do us all a favor, Biggs. We don't want to see Zero's face anymore. Well, yeah, this is a real bummer episode, huh? Did you see any comments about our Bojack Horseman review that you wanted to bring up, or anything that you remember? I think some people, nobody tried to defend Diane from what I remember, but somebody said she was written that way on purpose, which makes her a good character. And I don't think we ever said she's a bad character. I think we said we hate her.
Yeah, I think I know what comment you're talking about, where they basically say it's like Diane's reminiscent of someone that we all know. Yeah. Basically.
And I think it's good writing, because, you know, if you can evoke any emotion at all from a character, then I think an author is successful. And yeah, Diane is the type of person who I probably would not want to spend very much time with.
Yeah.
But then again, you know, other than Mr. Peanut Butter and Todd, I don't know, and maybe Princess Carolyn, I don't know if I'd want to hang out with most of the Bojack cast, to be fair.
I'm glad you said Mr. Peanut Butter, because that's the one that I related with the most.
Man, I almost wish I was Mr. Peanut Butter. His backstory of, like, he wasn't even an actor. He escaped from the Isle of Dogs and just, like, he flew a charter plane to fucking Hollywood, wandered onto the set of a show, and then became the main character. Like, that's a pretty good life, I think.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, even though he's happy and whatnot, he's still sad, dog.
He's not that sad.
Sad dog.
He might be the face of depression, but he's not that sad.
Face of depression. There we go.
Oh, one thing we forgot to mention, and speaking of people sucking, what did you think of Hollyhock, and how she ended her relationship with Bojack? Did we talk about this on the show, or did we talk about this off the show?
It was something I asked you after the fact, because I completely forgot on the show.
Yeah, let's dissect Hollyhock and writing that letter to Bojack that sent him off the deep end.
I don't know. I was torn, like, when I watched it, but now it's like, no, I just despise her. Like,
whoa!
I always hated her character.
You've always hated Hollyhock?
Like, as I look back, it's like, from the start, no, I just hated her from the beginning.
Well, for some context, so we can know what you're about to divulge to all of us. Hollyhock is Bojack's long lost half sister, who he develops a relationship with, and she ends up going to college. Bojack becomes a professor at the college, so he can be closer with his sister. And after she finds out that before she even met him, he did some bad things, he made some mistakes in his past. She evidently, we don't know what she wrote in the letter, but suffice to say, she decided to end her relationship with Bojack and basically wrote him out of her life because of the bad things he'd done years prior. And so go ahead, Biggs. Tell us about how much you despise this character.
Just her personality, even from the beginning, was just so annoying the more I thought about it. Because she would like inject herself into his life, and then as soon as he would try to like interact, she would pull away just immediately and get pissed at him. And then like
I did think the moment where she was like dumping his pills down the sink was a little bit much. Like, I get that she has PTSD from Bojack's mom giving her weight loss pills, but when the man needs medication because he's in horrible pain from a back injury, and you won't listen to reason, and you're dumping his shit down the sink, that was the first sign of, okay, Hollyhock, you're getting to be a little bit much.
Yeah. And then, just the whole thing of her cutting him off of past events, like.
And that's what led to his almost death. He was so heartbroken by that breakup of the only family he has left in his life. Like, he almost died as a result. I mean, you can't blame her for him going off the deep end, but it's kind of scummy, kind of fucking scummy in my mind.
It was definitely a stepping stone that she laid that led to it. Like.
Well, that as soon as he read the letter, that's when he. Go ahead. I cut you off. What?
Oh, I was just saying, like, obviously everyone's responsible for their own actions, but there is like you can't say, oh, it's your fault directly, but you definitely like played a role in it leading up to it. I think is fair to say, and especially in this scenario, because her doing that, like, if she didn't do it, 100%. Everything that happened after would have happened.
And my question is, from a moral standpoint, whose side are the writers on? Like, do the writers think that Hollyhock is in the right to write Bojack out of her life because he made mistakes in the past? Isn't the idea of the entire show that people can work to change themselves and be better, and your past mistakes, they hurt people, but all you can do is try to be better and move on. And at this point in the story, Bojack had done just that. He's a gray-haired college professor, and he's doing all the right things. He's working so hard to invest himself in her life and into rugby or lacrosse or whatever fucking stupid sport she was playing. And imagine one of your family members, Biggs, finds out about some dumb shit you did 8 years ago when we were in high school, and they said, I'm never speaking to you again. Just, like, how does that happen? How could you imagine? Would you ever do that to one of your family members?
No, like I was going to say, for me, it's even, like, extended to friends. If you do something stupid, I'm not going to, like, kick you while you're down. I'm just going to be there and help you through it. I'm not going to like give up on you, because everyone makes mistakes, because people suck.
And horses suck too.
People are going to make mistakes. We're not perfect in any aspect. So like when I saw her like write the letter and then he goes off the deep end, like I knew that she wrote him off. I was just like, yeah, no, you're the worst character on the show.
Whoa!
You're the worst character on the show. And I think the writers did that on purpose to kind of show the viewer, like, if you have someone that's so easy to write you out of their life, you don't need them.
That is a good point.
You never needed them.
That's true.
And they don't deserve you after you recover, I think.
Yeah, when I did a bunch of dumb shit and it was all in the public, a year or whatever ago, I had a lot of shitty friends who just, they said, okay, I'm done talking to you forever. Goodbye. And like, those are just friends. And even that was like, wow. I mean, I know I'm a shithead, but I didn't do anything to you, dude. Like, come on. So
Yeah.
for her being his sister, like, this is a blood bond, family bond. You would think that would mean at least something, especially when he hasn't redeemed himself, but he has changed for the better. And now you're like retroactively punishing him for something that he has already suffered the consequences of.
Yeah, like he was doing fantastic at that point. Like he was at the school teaching and like he loved his job and all this, and then she just had to go and screw it all up by being awful.
Yeah, you know.
It all comes back to the same thing. People suck, man. That's why you can't really depend on them.
True. And even when they try to help you, you might be such a dipshit incel old man that you just won't listen to reason. Tragedy.
Yep.
Well, I guess if you can take anything away from this episode, folks, one, people suck and they're horrible, and that's to be expected. And that's why you shouldn't automatically give up on them when you find out that they're shitty and horrible. Unless they're such a toxic force on your life that you are like actively hurting yourself by being around them. In that case, yeah, think of yourself. But if you find out somebody did something bad a long time ago and they're not doing it anymore, you're just going out of your way to hurt them by writing them off. And to be honest, I'm sort of, I don't mean attracted in a sexual way, but I feel as though I'm more attracted to people to make relationships with people who do have a checkered past, because that just makes them a far more interesting person. I would rather be friends with somebody who, got out of prison for some weird shit and now they're reformed and I can hear all their cool prison stories and hear all their fucking crime stories and shit, but now they're a good guy. I'd rather be friends with that guy than some fucking boring accountant who has never done anything interesting in his whole life. Like, how lame, Am I wrong?
Yeah. And,
I like hanging out with weirdo scumbag people. That's why I'm friends with you.
I saw that coming. But another thing with like the thing about the past is like, especially when it's that long ago and you see that they're doing very well for themselves, you like treating them harshly over it not only makes them feel like crap again for what they did, I think it's ripping new wounds that never had to be there. And it's just, I think it's like unforgivable if you do that. That's just like one of the lowest things you can do to a person.
And on that cheery note, I think it's time to say, hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to the Mumkey and BIGS show. We'll probably be live tomorrow with some of your voicemails, but who knows what'll happen. We sure do not do the voicemail segment more and more.
And every time we bring it up, it's like, yeah, we're gonna do it soon, so keep sending them in. And then we don't do it. We just get more and more.
Well, for the Mumkey and BIGS show, on my very special bad luck birthday special, I've been Monkey Jehoshaphat.
Which we didn't even make it to. It's not even midnight.
I'll probably right after we stop recording, I'm gonna go take a shit. I will probably turn 25 while on the toilet. So just so everybody knows how I spent my 25th rotation around the sun.
Yeah, and it's gonna be very reminiscent of your 25th year being alive.
It'll be reminiscent of my whole life up to this point, just shitty.
Oh, so maybe now you're passing it, and it's just all, sunshine and rainbows from here on out.
Yeah, I've heard life only gets better in your late 20s, so thank goodness.
Yeah, it's definitely not a downhill decline.
I don't know how much lower it could go.
Just wait until you hit not the bottom of the pit, but the bottom of the pit's pit. You meet him after 25.
I've been Monkey, he's been BIGS. See you next time, folks.